Hello and welcome to another vlog from me, a solo vlog, and this one is on Digipak and album cover analysis and research. So as you can see from above and below on the blog, I've done quite a lot of different research in different forms like slide shares and blogs and voiceovers, etc. Regarding album art and Digipaks with secondary and primary research. For this one I tried to do a vlog on the history and work of a very famous design group that designed obviously Digipaks and album covers. The group was called Hipgnosis, and they specialised in creating cover art for the rock bands of the generation, and they included like Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, Pink Floyd. The designer Storm Thorgerson, who I covered in my blog about his work, and Aubrey Powell were first invited by Pink Floyd to design the cover of the second album. And then the success of that cover led to them getting more work for EMI, and then eventually they built up their facilities and then rented a space and began a professional setup. In 1973 they gained international recognition for the famous cover design for the Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd, which I've covered in the blog quite a couple of times actually, because it's such a brilliant album cover basically. And the final design was one of several versions they prepared for the band, but it won the unanimous vote. And then the record's huge success then in turn fueled the success of Hipgnosis, because everyone basically marvelled at how good the album art was, and then they got more jobs with different companies. And then the firm became very in demand and did lots of covers for big bands throughout the mid-70s, late 70s, like Genesis, Black Sabbath, UFO. And then an interesting point actually regarding Hipgnosis is that they didn't have a set fee for designing the album covers or the album art, but instead they basically told the bands to pay what it was worth, which they said was very successful for them and only backfired a couple of times. So it just shows how good their work is, that people are prepared to pay more than what they would charge initially. So their approach to album design itself was mostly photographic based covers, but based is an important word because they often integrated a lot of different elements into that photographic style, and they basically tried lots of innovative visual packaging techniques, etc., that opened a whole new sort of avenue to the history of album art. And they specialised, Thorgerson and Powell in particular actually, in making like surreal photos with heavy manipulation, using lots of effects like airbrush retouching, multiple exposures, dark room tricks, and basically lots of things they did was an early form of photoshopping, which obviously for my project is available, and it's going to be very important because we're definitely going to use that to try and play around with different ideas of how we can make the album colour more effective, colour textures and all this sort of thing. And the covers had a trademark of humour throughout the designs, like Pink Floyd's A Nice Pale, which has 9 panels of visual puns. And another thing they're noted for is like the stories that their covers often told, like illustrations or amplifications of the lyrics in the album. And they also involve lots of double meanings and puns. So both Powell and Thorgerson, being film students, sometimes used models as actors, and because obviously they're film students from that background, they put them in really theatrical and like highly stylised manners. Their covers were so effective and their work was so prized, they did not use the traditional Digipak, but instead they used a gatefold cover format to display it more, protect it, and make it more of an addition to the album rather than just a extra thing that you see on the front. It was more of a reason to buy the album. They used it as well to give lots of space for the glossy and high quality photograph design, which in itself gave the band bonus because the buyer again would have a reason to purchase it more because of the album art was so famous from Hipgnosis. Another innovative technique they used in their design was the distinctive high-tech pen and logo and illustrations. They used fancy inner sleeves, packaging bonuses and stickers. This made the products basically more valuable, and it added value pretty much because they were getting something else which likely they hadn't seen before with albums. So this sort of interesting factor made them look at it more and again more likely to purchase it. But finally, after all these years, in 1983, the group dissolved and went to work on individual projects such as like Powell in video, and Wilkerson, who carried on with album design, as you can see in my blog with his 6-stage process that I analysed. So an evaluation of this sort of secondary research on Hipgnosis is probably the least useful of the sources, comparing against the others, probably because it didn't have much specific information aimed at helping me create the project, and it's more of a biography, a history of the company as a whole and how they progressed, pretty much. But having said this, it's still very helpful because it's given me 2 clear things I think I can definitely use in planning and creating of my own album art design and the Digipak. One of the things I found the most useful was the technique of elaborately manipulating the photographs based design, which resonates with my project because it's most likely going to be a photograph or based on a photograph like theirs was. After we've chosen the best image, then we'll look to use the techniques such as the ones they use, like airbrush design and colour grading and all this sort of stuff, just to give it more of an edge. Maybe like put tinges of certain colours to signify something, or change the shades of what we've got in the photo already, just to make it more symbolic or more effective as an image with like the other colours in the Digipak. So again, we're trying lots of different ideas throughout the Photoshop. Basically some things obviously won't be as good and we won't use them, but some things we might find is really effective. So then basically it's a lot better than what we would have had. And obviously while we're doing this, we'll get target audience feedback on this work, because although we might think it looks good, or we might think it looks better than what it was before, if they don't think it's good, then it effectively defeats the point of the Digipak, because the whole point of Digipak and album art is pretty much to appeal to the consumers, and if we don't appeal to them, then there's kind of no point having it. So that's going to be the most important thing, I think. And the final thing that resources help me see is the innovative additions to the Digipak they use to add value to it, like the stickers and stuff that people haven't seen before with album covers or Digipaks. So I'm going to be taking this into the Digipak design, and while I'm brainstorming different ideas for it and having brainstormed about creating it, I'm just going to think of things we could add to the Digipak to make it more effective and more valuable, things that might, for the specific design, might aid it more than others, and basically make it more interesting to the audience. So for example, the Demon Hunter logo is a sort of a trademark of the band, and something I'm pretty sure we have to include in our album cover design and Digipak poster and whatnot. So possibly make a laminated Demon Hunter logo, so the whole cover is normal and then the Demon Hunter logo in itself is laminated, which again adds more quality to it, and it literally gives an impression of the importance of that logo to the band and what it symbolises essentially, which obviously is, because they're a religious group, about the overcoming of evil and stuff. So overall, while this secondary research source wasn't most helpful, I'll definitely be using these 2 points to help my planning of the covers. Thank you for watching this vlog, and I think I'll see you in possibly another vlog on Digipak and album covers.